Maybe do both.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Good afternoon and welcome. Please be seated. Today is a significant day. It's one that Emily and Charlie have been looking forward to and planning for quite some time. Today is the day that they get to say their vows of love to each other in front of all of you, the friends and family that are most dear to them. Charlie and Emily are so excited that so many of you are able to celebrate with them in this beautiful setting of Longfellows and Saratoga Springs. We take ourselves out of the usual routines of daily living to witness a unique moment in the lives of Emily and Charlie, when they join their lives and pledge themselves to the future of togetherness. Today, friends become family and promises become permanent. This wedding is a blending of two families that have been separate up to this moment, but will be united from this day forward, blending their different traditions and strengthening their family tree. To honor this uniting of their families, Emily and Charlie wish to ask for their parents' blessing. Gary and Sandra, Linda and Charles, do you support Emily and Charlie in their decision to be married? And do you promise?
We do.
We do.
And do you promise to offer your love, support, and encouragement to them during their married life together?
We do.
Thank you. Charlie and Emily are especially grateful to their parents, who have given them wonderful examples of long, loving marriages. They feel like they've been taught by the best, and they can't wait to continue to build upon the foundation that they've already begun and laid in their own marriage. before we marry these two people, these two wonderful people, they want to take a moment and express their thanks, especially to their mothers. Mothers are amazing people. They love and nurture us unconditionally. They instill in us a hope for a partner that can love us almost as much as they have loved us. Emily and Charlie would like to say thank you for all you've done to bring us to this moment on our wedding day.
Linda and Sandra, these roses are a small token of my love and thanks to you.
Fabulous. I'd like to take a moment and just address the weather outside. I don't know how many of you drove a little bit of a distance here, but I don't know that I've seen such black skies in quite a while as I was coming up from Albany. It was very dramatic, and it occurred to me that it was probably because Emily and Charlie chose Black Hole Sun as the song that their wedding party would walk into. So I'm just going to leave that there. The other thing that I'd like to mention, you probably all have heard the saying, the fact, the lore, that it's good luck to have rain on your wedding day. But I wonder if you know why. One of the explanations for why it is so lucky is anyone who has done any boating or ever been out on the water or been around the water knows that if you tie a knot and that knot subsequently gets wet, the knot is almost impossible to untie. So it is said that a union that is formed on a day when there is rain is especially strong. So I wish that for both of you. I'd like to read a poem written by Neil Gaiman on the occasion of the wedding of some friends of his. This is everything I have to tell you about love. Nothing. This is everything that I've learned about marriage. Nothing. Only that the world out there is complicated, and there are beasts in the night, and delight and pain, and the only thing that makes it better, sometimes, is to reach out a hand in the darkness and find another hand to squeeze, and to not be alone. It's not the kisses, or never just the kisses. It's what they mean. Somebody's got your back. Somebody knows your worst self and somehow doesn't want to rescue you or send for the army to rescue them. It's not two broken halves becoming one. It's the light from a distant lighthouse bringing you both safely home, because home is wherever you both are together. So this is everything I have to tell you about love and marriage. Nothing. Like a book without pages or a forest without trees. Because there are things you cannot know before you experience them. Because no study can prepare you for the joys or the trials. Because nobody else's love, nobody else's marriage is like yours. And it's a road you can only learn by walking it. A dance you cannot be taught. A song that did not exist before you began together to sing. And because in the darkness, you will reach out a hand, not knowing for certain if someone is there, and your hands will meet, and then neither of you will ever need to be alone again. And that's all I know about love. I'd like to take a few moments and share a few words about love and marriage in honor of Charlie and Emily. Love is our true destiny. We do not find the meaning of life by ourselves alone. We find it with another. Emily and Charlie have found their meaning and destiny with each other. They found the one with whom they can be completely themselves, the one who understands their boundless love for animals, the one who shares so many inside jokes, who truly gets them. And who would have guessed that this is where they'd end up when they first met on OkCupid in 2015. But the internet has a wisdom all its own. And I'm sure they are not the only couple here today that was created by its algorithms. Am I right? One of the greatest things about love is not just how it feels to be in love and to feel someone loving you, but the fact that true love actually brings out the best in you and makes you want to be a better person and enables you to live more freely and fearlessly. As the writer Richard Bach has so beautifully stated, a soulmate is someone who has locks that fit our keys and keys that fit our locks. When we feel safe enough to open the locks, our truest selves step out and we can be truly and honestly who we are and not who we're pretending to be. We can be loved for our true selves. Each unveils the best part of the other. No matter what else goes wrong around us, with that one person, we're safe in our own paradise. Our soulmate is someone who shares our deepest longings, our sense of direction. Our soulmate is the one who makes life come to life. Another amazing gift that love gives us is the unconditional love and support of a partner. Somebody knows your worst self and somehow doesn't want to rescue you or send for the army to rescue them. When I asked Emily and Charlie what they love most about their partner, they used words like kind, intelligent, honest, thoughtful, and having integrity. They also told me that humor was an integral part of their relationship. That and pets. I'd say that all of those things make an excellent foundation for a long and happy marriage. Emily and Charlie, I wish for you much laughter, the fulfillment of all your dreams, both individually and as a dream team. Many more adopted dogs, and years of incredible love. I wish you all the best in your life together. Before you declare your vows to one another, I want to hear you confirm that it is indeed your intention to be married today. Emily, do you come here freely and without reservation to give yourself to Charlie in marriage? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Charlie, do you come here freely and without reservation to give yourself to Emily in marriage? If so, please say I do.
I do.
We now come to the words that Charlie and Emily want to hear the most today, and probably you too. The words that take them across the threshold from being engaged to being married. They will now share their personal vows with each other.
Charlie, when we first met, I didn't think you liked me. On our first date, you were kind of quiet, and I was kind of not, because I'm terrified of awkward silences. In fact, after our first date, I thought to myself, well, you're never going to hear from him again. I'm so glad I was wrong, because since that day, you've made me happier than I could imagine, and feel more loved than I ever thought possible. Life is a series of choices, and marrying you is one of the easiest choices I've ever made. Every day from here on out, I choose you to be my partner, my best friend, and my husband, which I suppose is my first vow to you. And while I do vow all of the standard traditional things for better or worse, richer or poorer, sickness and in health, I would also like to make a few vows specific to us. I vow to refill the toilet paper with the roll going over the top, never behind the back. I vow to not continue watching a show we started together without you, or at least I will pretend it's the first time I've seen it when we watch it together. I vow that when you shove a beer in my face and say, try this, I will at least a solid 75% of the time. I vow to never play Lightning Crash if I lied intentionally, as I would gladly play New Kids on the Block instead. For you. I vow not to get mad at you because of something that happened in a dream I had. I vow to not continue playing a video game we started together without you, or at least I will not save my progress and pretend it's the first time I've seen that section of the game we played together. I vow that no matter how old we get, I will never stop talking about how great the 90s were, while simultaneously cursing whatever the youth of the nation are into at the time. Lastly, I vow to remember you're human and love you every day, even on the days we're irritated with each other, because you're always worth it. And I just want to end by saying that even though the silences between us are no longer awkward, I still like your feather. Just an inside joke.
Emily, as 20th century poet and new kid on the block, Jordan Nathaniel Marcel Knight once said, "You walked into my life, your love was so new, and nothing will ever change my feelings for you." 6 years later, my feelings haven't changed so much as they've grown in intensity and clarity. Sharing my life with such a compassionate, intelligent, beautiful spouse is a fortune I never would have envisioned for myself. Whether it's a day when we gleefully change song lyrics to be about our pets, or an evening when one of us needs stress chicken for dinner, also an inside joke, having you by my side is a constant source of joy and comfort. The fondness with which I look back on the times we spent together up until this moment is outshined only by the excitement with which I anticipate our future. The following vows are just a brief glimpse at the man I plan to be and the husband you deserve. I vow to never let my hair grow longer than yours. On evenings when the two of us can't decide on what to eat for dinner, I promise to be the decisive one and choose something in under 30 minutes. I guarantee I will reference your favorite boy band again before the end of our wedding ceremony. It's coming. I vow that you will forever be player one when we play Nintendo together, and player one in my heart, and player one when we play PS5, if we can ever get one. I promise to try and stop fat shaming your cat, Chloe, in spite of how she looks at certain angles. I vow to ask directly if I can eat your leftovers, instead of passively suggesting that you eat them in hopes that you subsequently offer them to me. I promise that we will continue to identify the most arrogant chopped contestants and heckle their use of basket ingredients mercilessly. I vow that you will never hear me say, "I don't think we should adopt another dog." I promise that you will always be supported and cherished, because my persistent adoration for you will not allow anything less. The deep love that I feel from you, my best friend and partner, will forever be reciprocated. I'd like to conclude with a quote from another 20th century poet and new kid on the block. This time from Donald Edmund Wahlberg Jr. I get up in the morning and I see your face, girl. You're looking so good, everything's in place. Don't you know I could never leave your side, girl? Won't you stay here with me and be my bride? My cover girl, my favorite girl. I love you.
Will somebody please pass around the tissues? Now please have the rings.
They're snug.
Yeah, they are. Thank you. Please join hands. This way.
From the earliest times, the circle has been a sign of completeness. The rings that you've chosen to exchange have neither beginning nor end, much like your love for each other. They are a symbol of the words that you have spoken to one another. May these rings be from this day forward your most treasured adornment, and may the love they symbolize be your most precious possession. Take this ring and repeat after me as you place it on this finger. Charlie, I give you this ring
Charlie, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my vow,
as a symbol of my vow,
and with all that I am
and with all that I am
and all that I have,
and all that I have,
I honor you.
I honor you.
Same thing. Repeat after me. Emily, I give you this ring
Emily, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my vow,
as a symbol of my vow,
and with all that I am
and with all that I am
and all that I have,
and all that I have,
I honor you.
I honor you.
May the wedding rings you exchange today always remind you of the love expressed and the promises spoken today. Charlie and Emily, I wish you these good wishes on your wedding day. May the hope you hold in your hearts become years of dreams fulfilled. May the joy you feel on this day only grow with time. And may the love you celebrate now be a love that you cherish for a lifetime.
Emily and Charlie, in the presence of your beloved friends and family who have spoken your vows of love and have made promises through the exchange of words. Therefore, by the power vested in me, it gives me great joy to pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride. For the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Button.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. The other magicians assistant in their dreams. Oh, and they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Here's this movie that I think you'll like. This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy is running from himself. She's been living on the highest shelf. Oh, here they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady, running down to...
First, I'd like to introduce in the parents of the bride, and that's Gary and Sandra Gukamis. That's right, as they come across that bridge, let's give it up one more time for the parents of the bride, and that's Gary and Sandra Gukamis. And next, we have the parents of the groom, and that is Charlie Sr. and Linda Button.
Sweet sugar pop, rocks and pop, you don't stop till you see the drops. I shall improve like a stick and move. With the pains of silent on top of the groove. Smooth, mine, floating like a butterfly, never set afloat, sounding like a lullaby.
All right, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way across the bridge, let's give it up for the parents of the groom, Charlie Sr. and Linda Button. Work it. All right, now for our assistants tonight, we have Stephen Gukamis bringing in Catherine Button and Maya Gukamis.
Keeps you coasting on the rhythm you're cruising. Up, down, round and round, farther down, but nevertheless you got to get down. Then it's the freak through the beat so unique you move on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here they come again. It is Catherine Button with Maya Gukamis and Stephen Gukamis. Hey, they're not coming across the bridge, but let's give it up for our flower girl, Jasmine Arison, and the ring bearer, John Arison. Now I'd like to introduce our maid of honor, that's Sarah Crenell, and she's coming in with the best man, Jerome Steele. Charlie and Emily Button. Ladies and gentlemen, we can make our way all the way down the bridge. Let's give them a applause going as they walk down the bridge. They are here. It's our bride and groom. It's Charles and Emily Button, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, feel free to come on over and get a better view of this first dance as husband and wife.
You'll never know how much I really love you. You'll never know how much I really care. Listen, do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, whoa, closer. Let me whisper in your ear. Say the words you long to hear. I'm in love with you. Ooh, listen. Do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, closer. Let me whisper in
gentlemen, how about that? That is Charles and Emily Butt, ladies and gentlemen, their first dance as husband and wife. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, it's Emily's dad, Gary Kukamis.
First of all, I want to thank you all for coming. Some of you come from quite a distance, and I'm sure Charlie and Emily appreciate it, Sandy and I do. I want to explain how she turned out to be who she is here. Y'all know 98% of that goes to her mom, of course. Say any guy here that's totally honest with himself that has a dog is going to admit two things. He says, I have no idea how to raise this person. And secondarily, he's going to be a little sexist. He's going to be a little more protective of his daughter than he is his son. No matter how hard he tries, it always comes back to that. They just look like they need to be protected. Started out, no matter what she did, knew for the first time, look out, Stephen fell, it's no big deal. If she was going to fall, you had to help her, you had to stop her. Whether it was riding a bike, whether it was driving your car, oh my God. You always said the same thing, look out, over and over again. But then, as she grew, we're always trying to raise a strong, independent daughter. As she grew, and I watched her in her jobs, and I realized I was still saying look out, but not for her, the other guy. So, my one bit of advice to Charlie is if you're going to disagree with me, look out. With that, I'd just like to have a toast. Charlie and Emily.
We're not taking the drinking one. It's good, Gary. Nice big round of applause for the tasting story.
Get married to someone who makes him laugh and smile, and someone who he's willing to learn to dance with like several elaborate steps. I'm just so happy for them and so blessed to be a part of their life going forward. And I love you guys, and I wish you nothing but the best. And congratulations.
Jerome Steele, everybody. Give it up for that Jerome Steele. Very nice.
If you leap away in the mirror of a bad dream, and for a fraction of a second you can't remember where you are, just open your window and follow the memory of streams to the meadow and the mountain where we counted every falling star. I'm gonna watch you shine, gonna watch you grow, gonna paint a sign so you'll always know, as long as 1 and 1 is 2. There could never be a father love his daughter more than I love you. Trust your intuition, it's just like going fishing. You cast your line and hope you get a bite, but you don't need to waste your time worrying about the marketplace. Try to help the humans struggling to survive this harshest life. I'm gonna watch you shine, gonna watch you grow, gonna paint the sign so you'll always know, as long as 1 and 1 is 2. There could never be a father whose daughter
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about that? Emily shared a dance with her dad. That was, of course, Father-Daughter by Paul Simon. You did it. Fantastic, and thank you to Charlie for that version of the edited song. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to watch Charles share a dance with his mom. They're going to start this out alone, and then I'm going to invite all mother-son combinations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there are other mother-son combinations in the crowd, feel free to come on out and join them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now a nice big round of applause for Charlie sharing a very special dance with his mom. And thank you to the other combinations that came on out.
What's that? Yeah. Funky, funky.
How about a big hand now?
Wait a minute.
Groovy, groovy, jazzy, funky, bounce, bounce, dance as we dip in the melodic sea. Rhythm keeps flowing and drips to MC. Sweet sugar pop, rocks and pop. You don't stop till the sweet beat drops. I shall improve as I stick and move. Vivid poems recited on top of the groove. Smooth mind, floating like a butterfly. Notes set afloat, sung like a lullaby. Brace yourself as the beat hits ya. Dip, trip, flip, fantasia.
What's that?
Diddy bop,
Yeah.
diddy bop.
Funky, funky.
Feel the beat drop, jazz and hip hop, dripping in your dome makes your zone and bop. Funk infusion, a fly illusion, keeps you coasting on the rhythm you're cruising. Up, down, round and round, rhymes profound, but nevertheless you got to get down. Fantasy freak through the beat so unique, you move your feet and sweat from the heat. Back to the fact, I'm the Mac and I know that. The way I kick the rhyme, someone call me a poet. Poem steady flowing, growing, showing sights and sound. Caught in the groove, in fantasia I'm found. Many tripped and tore upon the rhymes they soared to an infinite height, to the realm of the hardcore. Here we go, off I take ya, dip trip, lip fantasia.
What's that?
Diddy bop,
Yeah.
diddy bop.
Funky, funky. What's that? Yeah. Yeah.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam. Bust the dialect, I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty Mike Master. Rhyming on the mic, I'm bringing suckers to disaster. Buku ducks, but I still rock Nike with the razzle dazzle. Star I might be. Scribble, jabble, scrabble on the microphone. I babble as I fix the funky words into a puzzle. Yes, 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 on and on as I flex. Get with the flow, birds manifest. Feel the vibe from here to Asia. Dip, trip, flip, fantasia. Ow.